Hey guys, it is I, Kuroninja, and after the intensity of the Dara Dara arc, we're now in the final quarter of the season. This is usually when most Sentai seasons get more exciting, because the season is moving closer to the end game. But I think most of you are excited for a different reason. There's one episode of Kakuranger that I'm sure you've wanted me to talk about since I started this rewatch, and you'll get to see that happen in this part. I, of course, am talking about episode 48, which I have used as evidence in my theory that the Purple Ranger, the Flowery Kunoichi team, and the very first Purple Ranger in all of Super Sentai isn't evil. But before we get there, we have to start with episode 45, which takes place at Christmas time. This episode wastes no time at the start and gets right into the action with someone breaking into someone's house. The Kakurangers catch him, and it turns out to be a junior Santa Claus who accidentally delivered presents a day too early. However, the presents all have centipedes in them, and it turns out to be from the yokai Omukade. The junior Santa goes with the Kakurangers to Santa World to warn the other Santas about the evil centipedes, and Ninja Man goes with them. But little do they know that Omukade has set up a trap. The Kakurangers sneak into the Santa Claus fortress, past all the Santa Claus guards, and they all disguise themselves as Santa. They now have to get to the Elder's office to warn him, but then after fighting him, it turns out that he was also being controlled by Omokage. The yokai tricks Ninja Man into taking Nekomaru to deliver the centipedes, and Ninja Man's eager to get his first Christmas present so he doesn't see through the yokai's tricks. Without Nekomaru, the Kakurangers catch up with Omokage with the help of Tsubasamaru, and it's revealed that he was disguised as a Santa Claus. Omokade tries to use his kickball attack to defeat the Kakurangers, but Ninja Man kicks it right back at him. The Kakurangers defeat Omokade with the Kakuranger ball, and then Samurai Man and Kakure Daishogun finish him off quickly. After the intensity of the Dara Dara arc, it was nice to get a fun episode. I think it's a good idea to give the audience some time to breathe before the season finale, and this episode works as both a Christmas special and a Kakuranger episode. I'm guessing this is the moment you've all been waiting for. My girlfriend's best friend is a manga artist, and the Kuroninja vs. Zero is a fan of this one manga I forgot the name of. So I think both of them might like this episode. It's also focused on Saizo, who hasn't gotten an episode focused on him since episode 34. Anyway, the episode opens with the Kakurangers going to a shrine because it's New Year's Day, and Saizo gets a bad fortune. Meanwhile, at a manga store, this episode's yokai, Mujina, gives a kid a manga called The Last Kakuranger, and he tells him not to show the manga to anyone. The moment he opens it, the Kakurangers are brought into a world of Mujina's own creation, and they're attacked by a lot of fighters, with Saizo being on the worst end of the attack. Now, I didn't really take that much notes for this episode because I was really enjoying it. It reminded me of something you'd probably find in Space Sheriff Gavin. There's a lot of good moments, like Saizo going through an infinite door maze, the kid causing the area around the Kakurangers to shake after sneezing, and even if you haven't watched this episode, you've probably at least known about that one scene. You know which one I'm talking about. The Kakurangers are able to escape the manga by grabbing Mujina's pen and throwing it at the sky, and they defeat him with Kakure Daishogun and Samurai Man. This episode is a good one. In this episode, the Kakurangers find a girl who looks like the little match girl from the fairy tale of the same name. Hiding in the matches is this episode's yokai, the yokai Kasha, who captured the girl's grandfather, pyrotechnician, and he's using him to make human fireworks. Sasuke infiltrates the base, but then gets captured by Kasha, who then shrinks him and a bunch of other people, and puts them into the fireworks, which are then launched into the sky. But then it turns out that the other Kakurangers found him and switched out the human fireworks with different ones. The Kakurangers then defeat Kasha and finish him off with the help of Samurai Man and Kakure Daishogun. Kasha then falls into his own firework launcher and goes out with a bang. Now here's the thing, I've talked about how enjoyable episodes 45 and 46 were, but I found this episode a bit boring. I don't know what was off with this episode. Maybe it was because this episode focused on Sasuke. Maybe it was because I knew episode 48 was coming. But either way, I didn't enjoy watching this episode and I wanted to get it over with. I'm not sure how someone can make make an episode about fireworks boring. At least I got that episode out of the way, because now it's time to review one of my favorite episodes in the later part of the season. The episode begins with a figure skater dancing with this episode's yokai, Yuki Onna. She freezes the figure skater and turns him into a snowman. It turns out that Yuki Onna is targeting a few athletes and turning them into snowmen for a ritual to create a hellish winter. Jiraiya overhears a cop arguing with his family because he has to investigate the mysterious disappearances of those athletes. Then he sees the cop again going undercover, but then he gets turned into a snowman while trying to save Yuki Onna's sixth and final target. After that, the Kakurangers fight Yuki Onna, but the snowman goes missing. They find it in a scrapyard and it starts melting, so they have to move it somewhere. But then Daimao sends the Flowery Kunoichi team to recover the missing snowman. The Kakurangers face off against the Flowery Kunoichi team and Yuki Onna, and then Jiraiya transports the snowman away with an ice truck. But then the Flowery Kunoichi team intercepts him and Yuki Onna gets the snowman back. It looks like Yuki Onna is ready to complete her ritual, but for some reason it doesn't work. The Flowery Kunoichi team then notices that one of the snowmen doesn't feel cold. Ayame and Sakura then kiss the snowman on the cheeks, causing it to blush. Sakura then attacks the snowman, revealing who it really is. Now, at first I thought it was one of the Kakurangers in disguise, but it turned out to be Ninja Man, which I was not expecting at all. It's revealed that Ninja Man took the place of the snowman, and then the Kakurangers show up, and together with Ninja Man, they defeat Yuki Onna and the Flowery Kunoichi team. Yuki Onna then becomes a giant and immediately calls the team novices. So I thought the giant battle would be the same as before, with Samurai Man and Kakure Daishogun making quick work of the yokai. Instead, Yuki Onna summoned two evil snowmen on her side, and it looked like the Kakurangers were about to lose, but then they were saved by Muteki Shogun. It is Muteki Shogun who finishes off Yuki Onna, and the episode comes to an end. I already knew that this episode would be one of my favorites. After all, it has the Flowery Kunoichi team in it, and it also focuses on Jiraiya, my favorite member of the Kakurangers. This episode also has evidence for my theory that Ran, the Purple Ranger, the Flowery Kunoichi team, and the very first Purple Ranger in all of Super Sentai, is not evil. During the scene where Jiraiya is driving the truck, he gets attacked by Sakura and Ran. One thing I noticed was that Jiraiya was able to kick Ran out of the truck easily, and Ran was unable to land a hit on him as usual. And it was Sakura who defeated Jiraiya. This means that Ran is still losing against Jiraiya on purpose to give him a fighting chance against the yokai. Episode 47 focused on my least favorite of the Kakurangers. It had a fire-themed yokai, and I thought it was boring. But episode 48, this episode, focused on my favorite of the Kakurangers. It had an ice-themed yokai, and I consider it one of the best episodes in Kakuranger. Let's see if episode 49 can hold up. The episode starts with the Kakurangers picking up a guy who has completed his debts and is ready to reunite with his family. But then suddenly, this episode's yokai, the yokai Binbogami, shows up. Binbogami uses his power on the whole apartment to make everyone in it poor, tricking them into pledging servitude to Daimao so they can get their money back. The Kakurangers then fight against Binbogami, only for him to use his power to turn the Kakurangers' powers into weaker objects. The family and the Kakurangers escape with Nekomaru, but then Binbogami uses his power on Nekomaru, causing him to break apart. Nekomaru then almost crashes into a truck, but it's stopped by Ninja Man. However, the rest of the family is then captured by Binbogami. The Kakurangers then come up with a plan to defeat the yokai, and they do that by making it rain gold coins. Binbogami becomes greedy and collects as much coins as he can, but this gets rid of his power and turns everyone back to normal. The Kakurangers then reveal that the coins were actually leaves, something that Tanuki are known for, and then they defeat Binbogami with the Kakuranger ball. Binbogami then turns into a giant, and Ninja Man and Kakure Daishogun get ready to fight. The yokai uses his power, but then Muteki Shogun shows up to stop it from hitting the other mecha. Binbogami then calls Ninja Man a novice. Ninja Man turns into Samurai Man, and the three mechas finish off the yokai. For a Sasuke-focused episode, this one was pretty decent. I enjoyed the first fight where the Kakurangers' gear was turned into lower-budget versions of themselves, and we also got to learn about the backstory of Binbogami. Another thing that happened in this episode was apparently Nekomaru has a theme song, and it was playing at the end of the episode. So while I was working on this part, I wanted to look back and see if there was something my favorite and least favorite episodes had in common. And what I found out was that 3 of the episodes I didn't like were all written by the same higher power. Episode 10, episode 33, and episode 47 had the same writer, but that doesn't mean his writing was bad. When he writes episodes that are not focused on Sasuke, I feel like that's when his strengths played out more. As for the best episodes, it makes sense that the episodes that the head writer was in charge of were the most interesting, including the episodes in the Shinobi Scroll arc, which covers episodes 25 to 31, and episode 20, my favorite episode in this whole season. Other than that, the episodes written by Hirohi Sasoda are also the most enjoyable for me. And what I like about his episodes is that most of them are not about Sasuke. We're now getting into the finale of Kakuranger, and things are gonna get more intense. But for now, that is all for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, I have nothing to do with Kuroninja.